Welcome back to another episode of Talking Stuff on Lettermen Row. I'm your host, Jeremy Birmingham. I apologize for being a little bit late this week. I was traveling back from Nebraska and got a little bit delayed in Chicago, and unfortunately could not record this on Sunday as planned, but I figured that would probably make more sense to not do it at an airport where I couldn't hear myself or anyone else. So also, I apologize. I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold, so please bear with me as we talk about Ohio State recruiting this week on Talking Stuff. First, we're going to go back to where we've been a few times already, but that's the quarterback position at Ohio State. There has been some increased noise that Ohio State will host quarterback C.J. Stroud from Rancho Cucamonga, California, for a visit this coming weekend as the Buckeyes host Michigan State. That has not been confirmed, but it is something that I know that the Stroud family is actively working to try to accomplish. The reality is it's difficult to get a flight from California to Ohio. He plays Friday night. They'd have to travel very early Saturday morning. Fortunately, Ohio State does play a night game against Michigan State, so that does give a little bit more room for Stroud to work out the travel arrangements. So stay tuned throughout the week on LettermenRow.com to make sure you're caught up with that chase, I guess. Last week, what really happened was there was a 247sports.com crystal ball prediction put in for C.J. Stroud to Ohio State, and that led to some increased discussion about him, which led to Jack Miller, Ohio State's 2020 quarterback commitment, making some vague tweet with the eyeballs and all that stuff. And, people, of course, read the tweet and then freak out. So let me just make sure I'm crystal clear on what to expect here from Ohio State. Jack Miller and his family have continued to say they are committed 100% to Ohio State, regardless of who or if Ohio State brings in at quarterback alongside him in the class of 2020. Now, I understand that it's 2019 and we're talking about recruiting, and a lot of times things get said like that, like I'm 100% committed, and then kids don't stay committed. But Miller's goal has been to be at Ohio State for a long time. He's done with his early enrollment application. He's accepted into the school. He'll be at Ohio State in January. The question is who's going to be with him. Will it be C.J. Stroud? Will it be a guy like Jaden Delora, who we brought up on Sunday night's edition of Dotting the I's on Lettermen Row? And Delora is an interesting quarterback. He's a 3-star prospect from St. Louis High School in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is the same high school that Tua, Alabama's Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback, is from. Same high school that Marcus Mariota, who won the Heisman Trophy at Oregon, is from. He's an extremely interesting prospect to me, very mobile, gets out of the pocket well, throws the ball on the run well, and is a guy that Ohio State has really started to take an inkling to in the last few weeks. So it's not just C.J. Stroud when you're talking about quarterbacks for Ohio State in 2020. So keep an eye on Jaden Delora, keep an eye on C.J. Stroud, keep an eye even on Cade Renfro from Texas, who we've talked about a number of times over the last few months following his visit to Ohio State in June, where he camped with the Buckeyes. He's a different type of quarterback, 6'4", 210-pounder, big, strong pocket passer. But he's a guy that I think they really like. And watching him throw the football in June, I was very impressed. He can really sling it. We're going to move away from the quarterback position now, understanding that anything can happen there. The next spot is running back. Everyone keeps asking about running back. This weekend, we're going to get the first domino in the running back recruiting race of 2020. Mayan Williams, who was offered by Ohio State a week ago from Winton Woods High School in Cincinnati, is not visiting. But Trey Bradford from Texas, who was the first running back the Buckeyes offered after Bijan Robinson and Jalen Knighton decided to commit elsewhere, is. So watch that one. He's a player that a lot of people in Texas and people I talk to in Texas believe is leaning towards Ohio State. This could be a big weekend towards sort of figuring out where the running backs go, because when you look at a guy like Trey Bradford, he really fits the bill of what they're looking for as far as a talent. He's 6 foot tall, 200-pounder, can catch the ball out of the backfield, can run between the tackles, really good player. Now, that's happening this weekend. There's going to be a ton of other visits coming up to Ohio State this week for the Michigan State game. It's a night game. The Buckeyes will be wearing the black uniforms. It is sort of one of those recruiting extravaganza weekends, so make sure that you're paying attention to the website all week for that. And understand that the Buckeyes could be adding to their 2020 class on Friday when Jacolbe Cowan, four-star defensive lineman from North Carolina, Providence Day High School in Charlotte, makes his announcement on Friday night. This is a battle that the Buckeyes have been in for a while. He's down to Tennessee, Ohio State, and Clemson. I think it's going to be more about Ohio State here than anyone else. I think the Buckeyes will land him, but I know that there's a lot of mixed reviews when it comes to Cohen. He's big. He's 6'5", 277 pounds. He's a player that wants to play defensive end. He could play defensive tackle, could be a 3-tech, could be an outside guy. Cohen had a really kind of rough summer when he went to the opening in Dallas, didn't perform particularly well, but he's a guy that Larry Johnson has pinpointed and liked for a long time, and I think that if you're looking for one coach at Ohio State who's earned the opportunity to say, I want this guy and I'm going to get him, regardless of what fans see at a high school recruiting event, regardless of what stars say. I mean, Cohen is very interesting. He's a 3-star on one recruiting network and a high 4-star on another. So there's obviously some I don't want to say some confusion about him, but some mixed reviews. So what you do need to know is that he's committing Friday night after his homecoming football game. Ohio State is the presumptive leader, and I would be surprised if he doesn't pick the Buckeyes at this point. So that's what's coming this week on LettermenRow.com. That is what's coming this week for Ohio State football recruiting. If you've liked this video, please like the video and subscribe to Lettermen Row's YouTube channel to keep us having the opportunity to provide you unique, fresh content for free. And we really appreciate you being here. So thanks for watching this week's Talking Stuff. I'm Jeremy Birmingham for LettermenRow.com.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and you know we got Buckeye Key with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.